What on earth is a demon rock?
Hey, how are ya?
You're demon rock?
That's me.
Sorry, it's just you look a lot less demon-y than I expected.
Actually, that's just my preferred genre of music.
If you say so, I'm just gonna mine you now then.
No, wait, please.
What?
It's, nice having someone to talk to.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna walk away.
Ladies, gentlemen, and
Hunters of all ages, Wild Hearts has recently come out for everyone to play, and those who've been at it have been enjoying what the game has to offer. It is full of Kemono to hunt and equipment to upgrade, and a big part of this game is the personality of the maps themselves. At certain stages along the way, you'll unlock each of these locations, and you'll find out pretty early on that each one has their own things going on for them. Not just in the way that they look or the Kemono that will be around them, but also in the resources that are available to you there. There will come a point almost undoubtedly within every one of our journeys where you sit down to craft some gear, see that it needs some weird rock or cocoon or something like that that you've never seen before in the game, and you have three options. 1, just ignore it, never work it out, never do that craft, just move on with your life. Number 2, just start running around the maps like a headless chicken trying to find one specific material having no idea where it comes from. Or 3, this video right here. I'm going to be going over all the unique upgrading materials that you can find on each of the maps, what they look like, and also just a couple of tips in general to make gathering some of them an absolute breeze. First up, a good tip to know is if you open your map while out in the wild and press right on your D-pad or right arrow key for PC, it will show you green dots to represent the category you have selected, and the final category is materials. This won't specify what each green dot is, so you still have to walk up to each one to find out, but it does give you some specific locations to narrow your search down on the map itself. Past this, there are of course food ingredients, but those don't help you upgrade your gear, so they won't be covered here. Instead, I'll be focusing on both the map-specific ore and the more unique pickups as well, such as peculiar cocoons, if you've been wondering where to find those. First up, I'll tell you a real neat and endlessly useful trick, and then we'll dive in map by map and explore what specific items you can only pick up in those locations. The trick then? The Tsukumo Ore Shrine. You can unlock this for Kemono orbs in your Karakuri upgrade tree menu, and this is just the gift that keeps on giving. I would set up as many of these as you can, as early as you can on every single map as you unlock them. Ore farming is a genuine part of this game that will be required, and it doesn't need to be done by running around with a pickaxe just looking for a fight with any rock that looks at you funny. Instead, you can just set up these shrines and get the little robots to do it for you.
Oh, I get it. Make the robot do all the work.
These will generate the ore found on each of the maps automatically over time, depending on where you place them. So just set them up on every map that you visit, and finding ore will stop being an issue really quick. As well, early on, corestone can be a bit of a bottleneck for upgrading, and if you set a shrine up like this in Minato, the only thing it will produce is corestone, so there you go, a tip for that too. With that covered then, let's talk what specifically comes from where, so you know your hunting grounds when trying to make specific equipment. The first map that we'll talk about today is Harugasumi Way, the spring map. The map specific material for this one is actually shared with Natsukadachi Isle, the summer map, this material being ancient lumber and supple lumber. At random, when you pick it up from the node, it will choose one of these two to give you. On top of this, there are of course the mining nodes on the map. There are two types of mining nodes within the game as a whole. This is the one that denotes a map specific ore. If you see one that looks like this specific shape, the crystal in the middle of a rock, the crystal can be any color, but the general shape of it is what matters. This means that that ore can only be found on the map that you're on. Each of the maps has a different shape of ore node too as well, and those all lead to the generic ore that can be found on every map, such as corestone, basic ore, large pieces of ore, and lumps of ore. The map specific ore then for this specific map in chapter 1 and 2 is called small crystal ore, which comes in this little pink-red stones that you can find around the map, most commonly found in caves. In chapter 3 onwards, the same node will instead produce sakura stone, a higher grade ore that can again only be found on this map. Our next map then is the Natsukadachi Isle, the beach island. This map has a unique material that will only be found here but can be picked up in any chapter, and this is called the coral fragment. It is literally just these bits of pink coral that you can find as you walk around the map, interact with them, and pick it up. Then we have the unique ore to this map that can't be found anywhere else. The node itself looks like this. It is easiest found in caves, but can also be on some rocky walls around the map. In chapter 1 and 2, this node will give you the bluestone material. In chapter 3 onwards, it will give you blue columnar ore instead, which is the highest grade version of the same type. As well, for completionist's sake, I mentioned earlier that the ancient and supple lumber materials could be found on this map too, so here is some of it being picked up on the beaches where it likely just washed up from some shipwrecks. Then moving on to the third map, Akikuri Canyon. We have another particularly unique material found here. This one looks quite odd, so you will definitely know it when you see it, and it's called Silken Thread. This will appear on this map in all chapters and give the same reward when you pick it up, used to craft certain armors, and then again part of certain side quests. Then we have the ore that is unique to the specific map as well. Again, this is split up between the chapters. It looks just like the other map-specific ores so far, except that this one is a yellowy goldy color, and in chapter 1 and 2, this ore will give you mirror stones, which are important for crafting certain powerful early game weapons. And in chapter 3 onwards, this will instead give you golden hematite ore, which again is useful for certain powerful later game weapons. Past this, we move on to our 4th map, the undeniable winter map, Fuyu Fort. This will be the last proper map that you unlock, and it still has unique materials nonetheless. Of course, we still have your generic ore nodes still. These once again are just on every map, as the basic ores are required for a lot of things, and the ability to pick up a bit here and there wherever you go makes it a lot easier, lessening the load as far as farming them specifically goes. Past that, we have the map-specific ore, which looks just like this. In chapter 2, this node will reward you with the light stone material, and in chapter 3 onwards, it will give you the demon rock ore material, which is used for other later game weapons, as well as some bits of armor crafting as well. Then we have the specific unique material on the map that is the same in all chapters, and this one is a bit peculiar. No, it's not necessarily a joke, it's actually a factual statement. Here it is. Pick it up and you'll receive an item called the Peculiar Cocoon. This is used for crafting in some armor sets, as well as being an objective of a certain side quest along the game, so knowing where it is can be quite helpful. Then finally, there is one more thing, but it is technically a bit of a spoiler, so if you want to stay as blind as possible going through the game, you should look away now. Without further ado then, there is technically one final map that you don't unlock until extremely late.
What?
That's right, it's hinted at through the entire journey, but we do eventually in fact make our way to the Sacred Mountain. I won't say any of what actually happens here, of course, that is for you to find out for yourself, but it's worth noting that this map does actually have its own unique specific ore that cannot be found in any other location in any other way, and it's used to craft some specifically extremely powerful armor. This is what it looks like right here, and when you mine it, you can get a material called Spirit Stone. This ore does actually share a pool with all the generic ore on this map, so you could get corestone or lumps of ore, so on, but this is also the only place and only node that you can physically get the Spirit Stone material is on this map. This is only available in one chapter, so there aren't multiple versions of it, it just is what it is, Spirit Stone. And that just about does it. All of these specific ore and craftables that you can find on each of the maps to save you some time working out where stuff is on your own when you need to know it. Again, as I said at the start, one invaluable piece of information that I can bestow upon you is to set up your ore farms as early as you can and make it as big as you can. The Tsukumo ore shrines are ridiculously effective, and if you do it right, you will literally never have to go out and manually farm ore for anything once you've got them going. They're just genuinely that good. That'll do it for today then, everyone. I hope this video helped you out and saved you some of your valuable time so you can upgrade your gear faster and more efficiently and just get back to hunting the Kemono themselves, the part that we all really enjoy. Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.